In this video, we will be showing the Signiant workflow integration with the Apple FinalCut editor. We will demonstrate setting up a simple workflow utilizing the FinalCut component and follow a media asset being sent from one editor to another. At the end, we will see how components can be incorporated into a more complex workflow. The FinalCut application must be configured from the Signiant software to add a new menu item. First, we add a new FinalCut workstation, giving it a name of New York and specifying its Signiant agent. Then, we add a menu item, giving it a name of the target workstation in London. We accept the default job template library and start component. Finally, we set the Signiant agent of the target. We then save this information. The process is completed by pushing this information to the FinalCut workstation. For this demonstration, we will create the simplest workflow possible. We will start with a FinalCut editor start component, followed by a transfer of the media file, a command to update the metadata, and finish with notification to the user of the target FinalCut workstation. The next step is to join the components, creating a workflow. Next, we must define the data that will pass between the components. This is the most powerful and flexible portion of the workflow creation process. We will start by opening the mapping dialog for the FinalCut metadata update component. This allows us to connect the outputs from one component to the inputs of another. Once the remainder of the mappings are complete, the workflow is ready to use. We will start on the source FinalCut workstation in New York and view the media asset.
Revolution!
Now we will transfer to the target workstation. We select the export option and the Signiant workflow. We pick the London workstation as the target. We then receive confirmation of the transfer launch. On the target workstation in London, we receive notification that the media asset has arrived. After opening the receiving folder, we drag the asset to our browser. We can then view the file.
Revolution!
What we showed here was an extremely simple workflow that demonstrates a basic workflow media integration. However, the Signiant workflow engine can be used for solving complex problems involving the movement of files between multiple locations and the processing of those files by many third-party products.